we ended up having races, like obstacle course races.
Obviously, because what else do you do in park?
Yeah. Because the kids are doing their own thing, so we just, me, Mel, Catherine and Steve all had our own little obstacle course races. Won them all, but it took a bit of chunk out mid-leg, so that's fine.
So wait, the kids were not involved?
Nah.
I thought the kids were involved in this race.
No way.
Full adult.
Yeah.
Welcome to the PRJCT Transform Podcast, where we talk all things health, fitness and lifestyle. That's the 5th time I've said it this morning.
That's Project Fitness.
Project Fitness. Oh no. I'm your host, Maddy, and we've got... What's your name?
Andy.
Andy. Happy Monday.
You too.
Thanks.
You're
Recording
welcome.
on a different day today. Just needed to change something. We had a bit of a mic malfunction last week.
Yeah.
It was an issue.
Maddy had a moment.
The mic had a moment. Wasn't my fault. I fixed it anyway.
We'll see.
First question, hot off the press, everyone wants to know. Are you an athlete, yeah?
Never not been an athlete.
Where'd you come in your run?
We did check it out, I can't even remember. I think it was about a bit better than middle of the pack, I think.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Are you going to run a marathon?
Nah. I'll never say no, but...
Not right now.
Nah.
Not jumping in to book the next run.
Yeah.
Like most people do.
Yeah. I'll get the hype behind running events.
Yeah,
because there's a massive crowd and...
Fair enough.
I ran quicker than I expected to, which was
really?
Yeah, it was probably I had like paces in my head and went all nerd about it.
Yeah.
And then just didn't follow it at all. So.
Did your dad coach you through any of it?
No. What would he coach me to? He's a food scientist.
He's also a runner.
Yeah.
Been running for a while.
He has.
Knows a bit.
But.
Fair enough. The next question I have is, for anybody watching the YouTube...
What happened to my shin?
What happened to your shin?
Alright, so the real races, I'm going to say, of the weekend went down the day beforehand. We took the 2 boys, 3 kids. Yeah. Tilly just sort of walked around doing her thing. But we took them to a massive park, which was it was huge.
Yeah.
And we ended up having races. Like obstacle course races.
Obviously, because what else do you do in park? Yeah.
Because the kids are doing their own thing, so we just, me, Mel, Catherine and Steve all had our own little obstacle course races. Won them all, but it took a bit of chunk out mid-leg, so that's fine.
So wait, the kids were not involved?
Nah.
So I just asked this question beforehand, before we started recording, and he would not give me an answer. He said, wait. Well, Mel said, wait, I'll be honest. I won't stretch the truth. I thought the kids were involved in this race.
No way.
Full adult.
Yeah. Won them all. I won them all.
Obviously.
Yeah.
No one would even be able to compete.
No.
What races though?
There was those big spider webs.
Oh yeah.
Usually in the park.
Yeah.
Had to go up and over the top.
Yeah.
Just real
Real CrossFit.
Just 10-second things.
Nice.
The longest one was you had to go do a full length through the playground section.
Yeah.
Because it went up probably 3 stories high.
Yeah.
And you had to run up through all the cage bit, dodge kids.
Yeah. All
push
these
them out
kids
the
are
way.
probably on the playground Mom, there's a big kid up here.
Yeah, and then down the slide and stuff. So
yeah, nice.
Yeah, won them all.
Well, obviously, just preparing for the next day. Oh my gosh. Well, today we're going to talk. We've been chatting a lot about, I guess, what this podcast is about: health, fitness, lifestyle. And I have asked you this question before on the podcast. Actually, is who do you identify as? And we all laugh when I say that.
Yeah.
But
it's questionable.
Yeah, it is. But a ginger, that's what it is, isn't it? Yeah, obviously.
That's where we're going with it.
Yeah. Are you a business owner or are you a PT? And I think in the past you've always said, I'm a PT. But I mean, it's safe to say you've had to put your business hat on a lot over the last few weeks. There's been a lot of change happening within, well, like we've moved to a company. We've had a few, not employees, but have you coaches leave, and so there's been a lot of change that's needed to happen to account for that. So we just want to talk about today, I guess, how project itself has grown and what's happened, what's changed for you in that time. How have you learned? Has there been good things? Has there been bad things? Like, go down that kind of road. And go.
Okay, thanks. My turn now. Yeah, obviously it's been a bit of a whirlwind start to this year, that's for sure. But good and bad, I think. Like, naturally you get the SADs on and go, shit.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Like, and nothing against Jack or Jamie, but like they're out doing their thing, spreading their wings a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just created us to obviously, I'm not going to say pivot.
No,
it's just take a step back for a second and go, all right, hang on a second, let's have a think about things and really learn from it. I think, like you were mentioning, COVID and how quickly we had to, adjust first of all, and then it like just grew way too quick. So that's when you come on.
Yeah.
And then kept growing, so we had to like obviously just keep stepping it out. But I think we kept that momentum going when we probably didn't need to.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So
yeah.
I think it comes down to like we just got used to the foot to the floor mentality.
Yeah, and we were like from the day we announced that I was going to come on and started taking inquiries and things like that, it just went like bang, let's go and keep running.
Yeah.
Like, which wasn't a bad thing.
No. And I think it's like I don't want to say we like got too big for our boots or anything. It's more just like we had the ambition to be obviously in our own studio, which we made happen. And I think it all comes down to when you want something enough, you'll make it happen no matter what. But at the same time, we planned it out, and we had been planning it out for
years.
Yeah, fucking years.
Yeah.
And then it popped up, and everything sort of fell into place, which was good. But I think in terms of planning that whole process out, as well as everything else, we were probably just ahead of ourselves a little bit too much.
Yeah. Do you think, like, looking back on it, obviously when it was just you and I, we definitely needed another coach. Like, that was crazy. But, like, how often or at what point do you want to get to, or do you like to get to before you start looking at that? And do you think that you stopped? Like, is it that everyone's jam-packed before you start looking for another coach to bring on, or is it just the right person? Like,
I think looking back, we just went, okay, we've got, like, I suppose myself, who's experienced and like needs to pull out just a little bit. We've got yourself, who's like obviously full, who's a little bit more. What would you say?
You can say it. I'm the grandma.
You're the grandma.
Yeah.
And then we had Jack and Danielle, who sort of, and we're all very different. So I think we were trying to spread out.
Yeah, like service everyone.
Yeah. We were trying to cover as many people as we could.
Yeah.
And that's what we looked at more than going, okay, we're at a point now where we need to push. We're like, okay, all coaches are almost full or getting there. So let's bring someone else on who's going to cover another point.
Yeah.
So we can help more people.
Yeah.
But looking back now, should we have done that? I don't think so. I think we should have just like waited until we hit that, not capacity, but like a little, just
or
probably structured it out a little bit more.
Yeah, and like not tried to service the whole of the world. Like not every single like goal that anybody could have, just remembering what we're about, which is results, education, accountability. Like, would that be fair to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's probably a question that like clients have at the moment. I think we've been like, clients know what's going on, that's fine, but like a lot of people are sticky noses, so I think that's probably what a lot of people want to know is where to from here. Like, what are we doing in the background?
Yeah.
Because we've talked a lot over the last week or so about what it is.
What we're going to do.
Yeah.
What's the plan of attack?
Yeah.
We're just going to go a little bit old school.
Yeah.
We're just going to strip it right back. We're going to... and it's one thing that I always say to clients anyway, and during their weekly check-ins, is go, hang on, let's just...
Yeah, take a step back.
I can stop and think about things a little bit.
Yeah.
And it was, I think, everything that has panned out has created, like it's, you know, we should have done it earlier, and you always sort of coulda, shoulda, woulda, but...
Yeah. Sometimes these things happen to force you down the road you're meant to be.
Yeah. So I think, taking a step back and forcing us to go, okay, hang on a second. Like, where did we... It's not so much like we missed the mark, I guess. It's more just we took the wrong path. So now we're going, okay, we need to cut across back onto the right path, which is obviously making sure that, and I don't think any like clients took a hit or anything, because everybody was pretty sweet, but it's just really emphasise what we are about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I think we'd all agree that, like, I'm the type of person that would happily pay, say, a course is $1,000, but I know there's a better one that's $3,500, and I'm going to get more out of. I'm actually going to be able to use that information.
Yeah.
I'd much rather pay the $3,500
Yeah.
and go, I'm guaranteed.
I'm going to guarantee that I'm going to progress.
That I'm going to get change and everything with it.
Yeah.
So I'd much rather pay more for quality than pay a little bit less and get fucking shit that you're going to have to then reinvest anyway later down the track.
And that's how you coach too.
Yeah.
Is I'm going to charge you more, but you're also going to get what you want to out of it. Yeah, which is not a bad thing. And I think that is something that we've really talked about in the last couple of weeks is just, like going back to, and I've never ever forgotten this when you told me, like way back years ago, is I'm your coach, I'm not your cheerleader. And that has always been in the back of my mind. It's great to have a woo girl. Do not get me wrong. I'm a woo girl at heart.
You're a crier.
Right here.
For
Absolutely. I remember, Mel's actually sitting in the background here. So she'll remember this. At my hens, we went to a drag show. It was drag bingo. And the main one looked over at our table and said, "Oh, we've got the woo girls over there." And that's exactly what we were. I've never felt more seen in my life. That's exactly what we are. However, that's not what we are when we're coaching. We're not woo girls.
But Maddy can be, is
I
what she's
can
saying.
be if you need me to be.
Yeah.
But I'll also say no. And that's something I was having a conversation with somebody a couple of weeks ago. And I feel like after having a baby, it was just hard because I'm finding this new version of myself that in my head I'm like still the same person, but I also have this little person that's attached to me, and that's the only thing that matters. And like you just I hate the whole like reinvent yourself after you've had a baby, but it kind of is like that. And I was talking to this girl and just said, like, at the end of the day, I don't want to be seen. I am not a pregnancy coach. I do have some clients that are pregnant, for sure. I can help you with that, but that's not my
pocket.
That's not my niche. I'm also not a postpartum coach either. Again, I have some clients because I can do that, but that's not the only thing that I do. And at the end of the day, I'll be your friend and I can be your woo girl. But if you have a timeline or you're doing a shoot or something like that, I'm going to tell you to pull your finger out. I'm going to be a lot nicer about it than you are, but I can have that hard conversation with you. And I think that's probably, I don't think we've forgotten it, but
no, I think
it's going to be a bit of a pusher again.
Yeah, I think like you said before, like it's, well, off the podcast is, it's much like fitness. Yeah. You have moments where you just really knuckle down and... Yeah,
you're like so driven and...
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is. If you're on a massive weight loss journey, like for sure.
You have a bit of a lull period, I guess.
Yeah, and you just... Other things sometimes feel like they're taking more of a priority, or you get tired. You let things go a little bit, like...
Yeah. Standards drop a fraction and everything else.
So it's always... And I think that's probably one of the biggest things is, like, you learn. You don't always have to pivot. I like that you said that.
Yeah.
That, no, we're not really pivoting.
All right, stop that. We need to do this now.
Yeah, it's that you learn. So if you had 3 key takeaways over the last few years, or even the last 12 months, like since opening the studio, because that was a massive jump, huge jump. What do you think are the 3 main things that you've learned?
3 main things. I
know. This is what happens when you're the guest on the podcast.
Yeah, always. I think 3 main things. There was one that our mentor said the other week. That was like, you don't really realise that you're doing it at the time, but when somebody
points it
just
out,
rips a band-aid off and points it out, you're like, oh yeah, maybe I am. Is to drop the ego when it comes to not in a like an arrogant sense or anything. Some people probably think I'm arrogant, but I don't. But anyway, who cares? It's more in regards to I'm like the stubbornness, like I want to do it like this. Like I want the studio to run like this, or So like
having the idea in your head.
Yeah.
Then things happen.
And you got to go.
Hang on,
I don't really want to do that, but
I can't just keep pushing this big rock up a hill.
I want to do it I'll do this because it's going to be a better outcome. But that's not really what I want to do. So dropping the ego in that sense. Yeah. Second one would be to, I think, and this comes back to the coaching thing. Coaching side of things is to let things soak in a little bit more than what you think.
So I'm going to ask a follow-up question on that.
Here we go.
The other week when we had Wendy on the podcast, somebody asked if you could tell your younger self something, what would it be? And you said to jump quicker.
Yeah.
And not let things soak for too long. So where's the balance then?
Jump quicker in the sense of like decision making. So whether it be maybe on a course or whatnot, in that sense, that's going to help me, I suppose, invest into myself. Let things soak in the sense of like, once we've invested, then let it soak and don't jump to the next thing. So I suppose chasing the shiny thing. Does that make sense? Yeah.
And again, I think it goes back to what we were saying earlier, is like running faster than you need to.
Yeah.
Just taking a step back, stripping it back and going, okay, now implement.
Yeah, you want to run it, because I'm a running person.
Obviously, he's a runner,
You brought the running up. Like, you want to run as quick as you can, but for as long as you can. So you need to find that right pace.
So really, you are going to run a marathon now?
No way.
You're talking like a marathon runner.
No, because I'll be walking. So yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah. Cool. Third thing.
The third one's probably like, don't chase a shiny thing is the second one, but like stick to what you know. If that makes sense. Yeah. So like what we are about, and like back yourself in. But I suppose we're not really niche to a point, because we're not like, we cover a lot of different clientele.
Yeah, we do,
yes, we're the fat loss people, but at the same time, like we're not like, we're only going to train fucking 35-year-old males to get shredded.
Yeah, we go through a very wide, and even then it's not like, we don't just have people come on for just weight loss. A lot of the time that might be a byproduct of what their original goal was, or there's a lot of other goals along the way.
Sounds very cliche, but like, just be yourself, I guess.
As a client or as a coach?
Got both.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because, like, naturally, it's one thing that I've always said to all you guys is you'll attract your own group that are naturally going to align with your personality.
Yeah.
Because it is a relationship thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we've learned in the business side of things is, like, we've all got on, but we sort of, like I know Jack and I would hang out outside of things, but in terms of, like, Jamie, I guess, probably we're not.
Yeah.
Not that, but it's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of workplaces that are like that, but I think most places. But it's more about, like, you want to make sure it's a relationship, I guess.
And it is, because I think, and I think that maybe clients don't realise this going in to coaching, potentially. They just see a shiny thing and everyone's doing it, so I want to have a coach and I want to lose weight or whatever it might be. But coaching, I could actually get emotional about this.
You can cry if you want.
No, I can't.
Cry number one, coming out.
No! But you as a client, and if you commit to it and actually show up as potentially the most vulnerable you've been, that's when you're going to get the best results. If you show up and you don't tell your coach what's going on and you put a wall up and you aren't listening, you won't get anywhere. You might initially because you get a little bit healthier, but you're not going to get into the nitty-gritties. And again, you'll still have some change, but you're not going to get the best out of it.
Yeah.
But if you show up and you are actually very vulnerable in pretty much any area of your life, that's when you'll see progression.
Yeah.
And that's not to say, like, we're not mental health experts. I'm not telling you to come and tell me your life story. You don't need to do that. But, you know, if you're having a bad week or something's happened in you, like, it might just be that your kids have been really feral.
Yeah.
That stuff.
And one thing to think about that is...
and so that relationship is important with your coach.
One thing to think about that is, like, I think a lot of people come to us forgetting that we deal with a lot of different people.
Yeah.
And 99 times out of 100, we've probably already dealt with something similar or very, very similar.
Yeah.
Like, you've all got your own little problems and all that kind of stuff. But
we have a lot of tools.
Yeah. The thing to think about with personal training, we've gone on a big tangent here.
It's good though. It's fine.
The thing to think about with personal training is we're the one that's going to prevent you from going to the physio. We're one that's going to prevent you to going to the doctor and hospital and all that kind of stuff. And that's what people forget is, like, we are preventing you from going down a shit dark hole. Potentially. Mentally, physically, the whole lot. So, yes, we might not be experts in mental health or experts at sleep or anything like that. But as PTs or fitness coaches or whatever you want to say, we need to know a lot about a lot.
That is the thing. It is. It's a lot about a lot.
Yeah.
And again, it's not everything, and that's where it's important. And I'm not going to call anyone specifically out, but a lot of people on social media, a lot of coaches, will not refer out. They are experts in everything, and I think that's something we're very good at, is going, okay, I can't fix that problem. I've given you all I can for this, and I've given you all my expertise and that I have on it, but now is when you need to go see the doctor, the physio, whatever it might be, to get that, because it's gone past me. But you do have to know a lot about a lot. Which is why in a lot of the courses that we do, it doesn't just touch on biomechanics. So it's biomechanics, it's nutrition, it's mindset, it's sleep, it's a lot of
and they're all sort of keyed to one way. So it'll be like programming. But then it'll be like, and then a lot of the time, like the last course that we did with Luke, it was more about, like, yes, it was about programming and advanced programming and stuff, but then he went on tangents to
so many things.
Like, nutrition and carbohydrates and this, that, and the other. And each course is very much like that. Like, you go on a nutrition, like when I did the performance nutrition years ago. It was just about that, and it was meant to be able to help you with clients that want to perform and all that kind of stuff. But then it was like, okay, now it's to help your sleep improve and this, that, and the other, and here's how we can assist that, and everything else. So
and I think that goes back to what's health. Like, what is health? It is all encompassing of physical, mental, everything.
Yeah.
That's a massive tangent on what our original
but
was.
I suppose swinging back in terms of right back to what I suppose we're going to do moving forward is like there's two ways you can attack it, and I forget who told me this, but it sort of clicked into my head once. Was there's two ways you can approach it, I suppose, in business, but also fat loss, all that kind of stuff. Is you can go shallow and wide, or you can go narrow and deep. We started to
go
shallow and wide.
Yeah.
Where we need to go narrow and deep again.
Yeah.
Because that's what we were right at the start.
That's a Monday knowledge one.
There you go. Enjoy that one.
Yeah, I will. That's good. I like that. Yeah. Do you think it's easy? I mean, it's easy in general to want to please everybody, but do you think it's even harder in business when you're a service-based business to say, no, I can't help you, or like you don't fit into what I provide, and so naturally you go, oh well, we'll just provide extra.
Yeah.
So that we can help you. We can help
absolutely.
Everyone.
I think clients, like, and listening to clients and outsiders, because I always ask, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this? What do you think about this? And what do you like? Even other businesses, like Pete, for instance, like he's in real estate, but it's more about like you're a business owner. Like, what do you think?
Yeah.
Or Dad, for instance.
Yeah.
But like, you can be led too much, and I think that's just a learning thing now. Is like we probably got led a little bit too much.
Yeah.
By trying to please too many people. I guess.
Yeah, and not going back to
what we're about.
Yeah, and our core drivers, I've got them written down here actually. Education, that's something we've always been big on, and it was something you said actually the other week, is like, even in a PT session, it shouldn't just be do this, do that. And you do have some clients, they don't want to know anything.
Yeah, they just come in, just flog me for an hour and bye.
Yeah, but, there should be a reason behind why you're doing something. So what's your reason? Yeah. Why are you doing that? Direction, which is something like we're always going back to direction. That like accountability, and that's why we then get results. So anyway, is there anything else you're interested in?
Don't think so.
No, I think there's watch this space though. Watch this space. We've got a good crew at the moment, like, and all of us are very excited. Yeah. There's a lot of like opportunities that have already opened up, and that's what's crazy. And I think this goes for anything in life. And I said it before. Sometimes things happen to pull you back or to force you back down the road that you're meant to be on. Yeah. And it's sometimes you fight it, and then you've got to like drop the ego a little bit. Yeah. And, all right, I'll just go with it. And then things just open up, and it, like it's already.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, crazy. It's definitely like the start of this year's been a bit of a whirlwind, and you're like, like what?
What more?
God damn it! Yeah. But already, like over the past week, we're like, okay.
Yeah, and I even said to you last week, like, you guys are about to go on holiday because you need it, but you're also fresh. Yeah. Like. Everyone's just a bit fresh again. It's a weird. Is conundrum the right word? I don't know.
Is what?
A weird conundrum? Is that the right word for
Maybe.
That? I don't think it is, but I'll use it anyway.
We'll let you roll with it.
Yeah. Just that you can be like so deep in something, but then be fresh and ready to go at the same time. Anyway, watch this space. We've got some questions. Somebody on Instagram just said, you're very small. That was the question. Chucky.
That's small. Not on Instagram.
That was
you.
No, it was not. That was not. It was genuine.
Who was
I
it?
could pull it up.
Who was it?
You don't want to know.
It would probably be like Jack or... I don't know.
Jack's going to be offended with me.
Oh,
I guess it wasn't him.
I know he'd say that anyway.
Yeah. So you better start bodybuilding again.
Yeah.
Clearly.
It's funny because I've been looking forward to getting back into heavier stuff again.
Yeah, that's...
Rather than functional shit.
Yeah.
Not that I don't like functional. It's more just like, I like it because it makes me feel like limber.
Yeah. But then you also want to be strong.
But also, I've always fallen back into like, I'd much rather be small but lift as big as the big blokes.
Yeah, absolutely. But questions. So, let's go this one first. What's your day on a plate look like
The same here.
when you are 100% dialed in? And what are your go-to staple meals to ensure you set yourself up for the day macro-wise?
Oats, banana, protein powder for breakfast.
Yeah. I just can't wait to eat some oats again. And protein powder.
Mince and rice.
Yeah.
Then it's pretty much what I did on a photo shoot, really, isn't it?
Yeah, still to this day.
Yeah. And then I'll have not so much the boiled eggs on toast.
Yeah.
I'll piss them off pretty quick.
Yeah, that's
but I still have like, I'll have a YoPro yogurt and like at the moment it's jam sandwich.
Oh, delicious.
If I train, I'll have a protein shake and I don't know, something.
Yeah.
Whether it be like an LCM bar or some sort of carbohydrates again.
Yeah.
And then whatever's for dinner. Usually it's a mixed bag, meat and veg.
Yeah.
Pasta or something.
Yeah.
We try and keep, I suppose, dinners as normal, just because of the kids.
Yeah.
Because they're always at the age where, like, I'm not one to go, like, personal opinion. I don't think you should be weighing your food and shit in front of kids, because I suppose just experience over time, when parents come to you going, my kids are starting to weigh their food or look at how much they're having and all that kind of stuff. I'm of the opinion kids should be kids.
Yeah.
Until they're adults.
So how do you navigate that then? With a client?
So one thing that we do with the oats is, rather than me going 100 grams, I'll just leave the like half a cup scoop in the oat container. Yeah. And I know that 2 of those will be about 100 grams.
Yeah.
So you sort of navigate it like, because Eli just thinks it's the scooper for the oats.
Yeah, but you know.
But I know, just chuck 2 of them in there for me, mate. He's like, oh yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
And then banana, like, I'm not going to weigh my banana because they're pretty consistent.
What about someone that's on a photo shoot?
I'm going to say, it's a tough one. Meal prep as much as possible. And it depends I always put it on the client, like how much they're prepared to do it. Because at the end of the day, it comes back to them, not me. So I would go and, like, one of the clients was like, nah, I'm just going to ride it out. I know it's only a short period of time, so we'll go back to enjoyment. As soon as we hit the end of photo shoot, it was like, you need to track, you can track, go back to eating with the family, all that kind of stuff, just count it all in. And then I've got other people who are just like eyeballing it. And I suppose it's a good thing about the new software is like the food journal part in it.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it.
Is you can go, okay, just upload it, make sure there's lots of colours, make sure there's a good amount of protein in there, and you can sort of wing it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to photo shoot, you've sort of got no choice but to.
But again, it's just for time.
Yeah, it's only a short period of time, so.
Yeah. No, my day on a plate is pretty much the same. Oats for brekkie, rather than probably strawberries and peanut butter and some protein powder. Cannot wait to eat that again. I'm not having protein powder at the moment because I'm breastfeeding.
You know what's yuck?
What?
Catherine ate her breakfast yesterday morning before the race.
Oh no.
And it was just oats and water.
Yuck. So
just
I've
oats
tried it.
And water.
I've tried it because I'm like, maybe it's good. Like, that's what my grandma used to make for me, and it was delicious, right?
Yeah, she punched the sugar on it.
Because it had brown sugar on it. Yeah. All over the top. Oh, yuck. Catherine, no.
She's going to hate it. She's going to mention every podcast, I reckon.
Yeah, she has actually.
She's targeted.
She also said she's not coming on.
Yeah.
When she comes down here next.
Yeah. She got no choice.
Yeah. She'll come and visit the studio, and I'll just have it ready to go.
Yeah.
But no, definitely mince and rice still. Always. Delicious. Can't go wrong. Cereal after a workout. Chex is my Cocoa Pops Chex. Most elite cereal, and you can't change my mind. Have you had it?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah, elite. What's better? Go on.
I'm going to stay the old classic and just go like Nutrigrain.
Nah, no, sorry.
So those checks, they go like soggy as.
Who takes 10 minutes to eat cereal? No
well,
one.
I've seen you eat. You don't eat that quick.
30 seconds. Cereal. Munch, munch, munch. Done.
No, and you put like this much water with it, so I was like...
Yes, because otherwise...
Watch Mel do that with her Cocoa Pops.
Yeah, because otherwise then you've got to drink too much of the water protein powder.
Yeah.
Nah, you don't.
We'll put a vote in somewhere.
Yeah, we will.
See what people do.
Yeah. And then dinner, honestly, chicken and potato. That's like... But sometimes I'll have more like roast veggies with it or salad. Like, I don't really love... I'm not a salad person. It's not really...
I prefer salad over vegetables.
Really? Salad if it's got like a really delicious dressing on it, but that's where a lot of calories are. So, yeah, no. I would rather, like if you have a roast dinner, that delicious, because I'm all about the veggies. I could easily eat a whole bowl of broccoli. Like, easily. That would not faze me.
No way.
Yeah, I love broccoli. Favourite. Anyway, that's pretty much it. There's not really much variance there. And Cliff Bar. Still have a good old Cliff Bar. Delicious. And Yopro. Yeah. Next question. This person said, absolutely bizarre question, but it's not, because I've actually got somebody at the moment. Have either of you coached someone through a huge lifestyle and weight loss change for them to regress or revert back to how they were or worse? Like they reached their end goal and or lost a huge amount and then rebounded severely.
I think we all have.
Yep. It happens.
Yeah. I think it comes back to how quickly that person achieves it or wants to achieve it.
Yeah, I agree with that actually. Yeah.
The other thing is their mindset towards it is very like, I'm going to be fixed once I get to that number, so I can just take the foot off the pedal altogether. Not like even slow down just a little bit. It's like, I'm going to put the brakes on now.
Yeah. It's, I'm not going to move. I'm not going to eat one single vegetable.
Yeah, tick, done.
Yeah.
Like that's a task. They look at it as a task that needs to be done on a to-do list. Not so much like...
They haven't quite got to the point in their brains where they realise that it's lifestyle.
Yeah, you need to continue on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can slow down a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Just to enjoy the road a little bit more.
Yeah.
But a lot of people would much rather like just hurt for 10 weeks and then just go, all right, done.
See ya. Yeah. Yeah. And so, yes, it does happen, and we all have. And I think that is probably important for people to remember.
How do you approach that with a client? Obviously, it depends on the client.
It definitely depends. And I think you have to talk about it. Can't just like jump back in. Ask the questions of why it went wrong. A lot of the time, I found people have just got, like, they feel confident again. They feel really confident, and they do genuinely feel like they've got this. Yeah. And I think with anything sometimes, like you do feel really confident, and you probably finish up just that little bit too early. You just need that little bit. Might only be a month longer. It might be 3 months longer. It might be 6 months to really solidify habits. And it's not a bad thing to not be ready. It's just being a bit realistic, especially if it's been that big of a weight loss goal. Yeah. And again, it depends. Sometimes I will go in because we just need to get them healthy really quickly again. But the way that we back off is a lot different. And we have that talk about commitment on the other side of it.
Yeah, the other thing is like you don't necessarily want to look at it as a negative. It's a bit like us with the business. It's like
it's learning.
Yeah, you go, okay, you've done that now. You know how to do it again.
Yeah, yep.
So it's every time you try again, it's that little bit easier.
Yes, and so I was talking to we talked about it with Wendy. I've got another client who's done the shoot more than once, and how different the process was for them. It's the same deal. It's the same thing. Each time you do something, you get a little bit better at it, and you learn different things. You look for different things. And so, no, you're not where you want to be. It didn't go to plan, but you will learn something different again along the way. You're probably going to be more adherent this time, potentially. And you'll learn something along the way. So it does really depend. But I think it's important to have some of those harder conversations about why you went back.
Yeah.
And because there might be something underlying there mentally, whatever it might be, that needs to be addressed.
Well, I think if you get thrown backwards, it's a fair sign that it didn't take long enough.
Yeah.
So,
and you've said that before,
you can probably double it.
Mm-hmm.
Until you find the right time.
Yeah.
So if it took you 12 to 15 weeks...
It's going to take 30.
Yeah. Take 30.
Yeah.
And then there's a fair chance that that's going to sit a lot better. You might go up 3 to 4.
Mm-hmm. But you're not
going to guaranteed, I've got a lot of clients that have done it. Mm-hmm. Not like 30, 40, 50 kilo drops, but like a lot of clients that have gone down 10.
Yeah.
And then back up to 10.
Yeah.
And you're like, right.
How did that happen?
We do it again. Guaranteed you won't let yourself go past 5.
Yeah.
And sure enough. And it's because they're like, fuck, I'm just sick of going back to the start. Well, don't let it happen.
Cut it off.
Yeah. We're trying to do what we can on our end, but you can only lead the horse to water at the same time.
Yeah.
So, like, we can attack it a million different ways.
Yeah.
Like, here, try this. Cheat meal a week, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you're not adhering to the plan, then guess what?
Yeah, you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
Something on that though is if that is you, and there will be people who are listening that is that person, don't ever be afraid to reach out again. It's not embarrassing. You're going to feel embarrassed. That is, but not at any point are we going to go, oh, I told you so.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That's not what we're about at all.
And I think a lot of past clients, like we reach out to a lot of clients all the time. Or like past clients just to see, make sure they're still going okay.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are like, oh, look, I'm back here. And you're like, you're more than welcome to jump back on board.
Yeah.
And
you want some help.
we'll get the ball rolling and, you know, see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think a lot of the time people are too embarrassed because even like post comps, I know a few of my clients have experienced like you finish your comp, you put on 4 or 5 kilos and you think that everybody in the gym is going to jump down your throat and looking at you and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But they're too worried about themselves.
Yeah, they don't care.
So if you are a past client, with anybody, with any coach, and you feel embarrassed, just reach out. I'm sure they'll have you back on. Because you've got to understand that they've already trained you. So they go, I know what this person is like.
Yeah, and they know what flags to look out for earlier too. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you gelled with that person. Don't be afraid to. But on the other side of that, don't be dumb. Give it a crack.
Yeah.
Don't just say, oh yeah, like I do want to do it. I've been embarrassed. Like if you're going to do it, commit.
Yeah.
Because I've had that before too, where they are and they come back on and they don't really actually commit to.
Yeah.
Because there's still that, like they don't want to check in, they don't want to do any of that because they're still embarrassed. So maybe they're not at a point where they're ready in their life. Yeah. Last question though. Mm-hmm. This is a quick one. What's your absolute dreaded exercise? Well, I guess there's 2 questions. And least enjoyable part of coaching. So least enjoyable part of coaching first.
Probably when most frustrating part. And probably. I don't mind. Like, it's funny. Mel asks me all the time. Job. She's like, "Do you actually enjoy it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I wouldn't."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't find it shit. Like I don't wake up every day going, like I don't want to go to work.
Yeah.
I have days where I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered.
Yeah.
Knackered or
it's
whatever.
Raining outside, I'd rather stay in bed. Yeah.
But I suppose the most frustrating bit and least enjoyable, I guess you would say, is when you plan out a client so much, you spend so much time, and they go, I don't want to do it anymore. And you're like, you fucking piece of shit.
Yes.
Like, especially set out timelines and everything. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
That's probably the biggest, and it's like, you just...
But then do you want to know what the best part about it is? Is when I've got one at the moment, he's killing it. We have the spreadsheet there. He just does it. It's magic.
Yeah.
It's magic. Shout out. I won't say his name.
Yeah, but you get a shout out. Yeah.
Shout out. Yeah. I'll see him tonight. I'll tell him.
Exercise. I'm not a real fan of burpees. So you don't really...
Don't be one of those guys.
Yeah, but like...
No one likes a burpee.
No.
That's cancelled. Next.
Yeah, it's like... It's like asking a scale on 1 to 10, but you can't say 7 because that's your
Yeah.
I like burpees.
Yeah.
Oh,
Of course you do.
no. Do you actually, though?
Yeah.
She hasn't done enough of them.
Yeah.
Come on, quick fire.
Probably, everybody says Bulgarians naturally because they're hard, but I don't mind them because they are a good bang for your buck. So
I like low rep Bulgarians
yeah,
because you just like heavy, get it done.
I don't think there's one exercise that I really hate, like carbs. Obviously, I just don't get a look in, but I think that's more just because I can't be fucked at the end. So I know I should prioritise them at the front, but leg extension is probably at like that pain. Like if you have a red hot go on a leg extension, where you just like hang on.
But there's nothing.
There's
nothing in a program when you get one that you go.
I'm like, that nah.
Yeah, my least favourite. Honestly, I think it would be a back squat.
Really?
Yeah, I just find them. I think I'm scared of being under the bar and it not going up.
Confidence thing.
Yeah. I just don't like them. I'd rather do a lot of other things than that. Like, a goblet squat I wouldn't mind. I think it's just a heavy barbell on my back that I don't like the feeling of. That would be mine.
Cool.
Yeah. Mel, do you have a least favourite?
No, I'm not sure.
She likes every exercise.
I don't really train. You can't ask me.
Oh, whatever.
Body fit.
Yes. Shout out.
Yeah.
Well, no, that was really good. Thank you for that. As always, if anybody has any questions or any topics they want covered too.
Yeah.
Do we ever guess next week? No.
I might do. I'll just check your timetable.
Oh, we might. We might actually. That'll be a good one if it's the one I'm thinking of. But yeah, if you have any questions, topics, please feel free to reach out on our Instagrams at Project Transform.
Simple.
Yeah, and I'm at Project Transform _Maddy with a Y, just for everyone to know. Or obviously on Facebook. Or on our website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
We're very legit.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
Official. We have a website.
Yeah. But no, thank you very much, and just watch out.
Watch out.
Watch out. We're ready. Have a great weekend, guys.
Weekend?
Well, it will be Friday.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it'll be a Friday. Monday for us.
Yeah.
Friday for everyone else. Yeah, that's it. Catch ya.
Toodles.